What's up, guys? It's Shadow from SG TCG, bringing you guys another round from Top Cut Locals. This time I'm facing a Bonney. I won the dice roll, so I chose to go second to throw the Bonney off curve so that he wouldn't be able to play Basil right away. But he does have the, Cavendish, Hody Jones, and Zoro curve if he sees all of it. So I'm just banking on my setup being perfect. I open up with the one cost event search and I end up finding the Kaido. Figure that that'll be more beneficial late game, especially if the Hody comes out. I could retaliate and play my own to remove it instantly. So he's going to swing 6 with leader. I'm going to counter out with a 2K here. Don't want to take life early, especially if he establishes a Zoro. And then he's going to do a Bonney search, looking top 5 for a Supernova card. And it's great because she could even search herself. It's not one of those searches that can whiff if nothing is there but herself. He ends up grabbing Cavendish, so he's got the curve set up for next turn. I'm going to start with swinging. I think I swing 5. Yeah, I'm going to opt to swing 5 first because in my hand I have a Sasaki. And I swing 5 at the Bonney so he wouldn't be able to search. I'm going to tap 3 to play stage and tap the stage to ramp arrested. Got the perfect setup for myself, being able to ramp early. So next turn I'll be at 7 Dawn. But here I'm opting to what I want to do, and I end up playing the Sasaki, where if I rest the Dawn and rest the character, I could give something -2. Which, with him playing the Cavendish next turn, this Sasaki is going to help me be able to remove it with, potentially a Who's Who or a King card that can get it into range. I ended up going this route instead of using leader ability to Dawn -2 just so I can keep ramping the Dawn up and not worry about it. So he swings 6. I take it this time, trying to see if I can find something. He passes turn. I'm at 7 Dawn currently. And I'm going to start the turn with the Sasaki ability to rest a Dawn, rest itself, and give the Cavendish -2. And before I play a character, I'm going to swing 5 just so that when I play the character and swing, he wouldn't be able to rest it with his leader ability. So he ends up taking the life. I tap 6 and I play out King, Dawn -1, and I pop the Cavendish since the Sasaki put it in range for King. And I'm going to ramp that Dawn right back that I Dawn minus with the Onigashima. And pass turn. So right now I'm able to kind of keep the Bonney under control. If the Cavendish stuck, he would have been able to swing and continuously restand 2 Dawn. So right now I kind of got it in check. He's going to tap 6, play out the Basil, which is probably one of the most broken green cards, but only in Bonney. Just because it's leader locked to Supernovas. Hody's by far the most broken green card. But Basil's up there as one of the best green cards. As long as you're playing it in the right deck. Because then it becomes a blocker. And then its ability itself. So I swing 7 at him. He's going to opt to decide whether to counter out or use the Basil and a 2K. Which is probably the most optimal thing. But it looks like he's trying to find something. He ended up resting my leader. I'm going to tap, looks like 7 and establish a Jack. Yep. Establish Jack. Jack is an activate main, rest the card, draw 1, trash 1. It's a good cycle, and it can pop a 3 cost. So at this point, we're pretty much setting up the board for a late game. Which Bonney is the way Bonney does it. It always goes late game. I tap 2. I end up playing Shiki, and since I was at 9 Dawn, I am able to draw 1 and trash 1 with the Shiki ability for its on play. And I trash the 7 cost King, where if I play it, I can give Dawn -1 to give it rush. Don't really need it. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on the Bonney that way. I'm trying to kind of keep it in check by keeping its board clear for the most part. So he plays out the Cavendish, restands 2 Dawn. This point is where it starts to get a little tricky, just because now he's starting to kind of pick up pace. So I got to be able to remove this Cavendish, which is doable with my leader ability, Don minusing 2, and then just giving it the -2 on it and using Jack ability to pop it. He does baby 5. Unfortunately, in that search, I saw a bunch of Bonnies and Supernova stuff, so the 0 cost event was the only target. And he plays out the Rouge, swings 5. I believe I take this swing. Yep, I take it to give myself options, and then passes the turn. Rouge restands the Don. Here, I'm trying to figure out a way to be able to remove his board. Because again, all I have technically is leader ability, and I can only remove one thing. But the Rouge can't stick on the board just because of its ability to restanding a Don. Same thing with Cavendish. So I do Queen to search top 5 for an Animal Kingdom. And I end up finding the 6 cost event. I think it's Conquest of the Sea. So I tap 6. And this card, Don minus is 2. I am able to pop a 6 cost. Two 6 costs from my opponent. So I was able to clear off the Cavendish and the Rouge with this event card. I only run it at a 1 of. It was just a perfect find from the Queen, so it's just exactly what I needed. And here I did swing with 7 with the King, and this is where it kind of gets a little tricky because he could have used his leader ability with the Bonney and rested Jack, and I realized that. So I'm gonna play out a Queen to search, just to kind of give him more options of what he could rest. And I end up finding another Kaido. So now I have 2 Kaidos in hand. And here I'm going to use Jack prior to swinging, just because if I swing with leader, he could rest a Jack or rest a blocker. So I'm going to go with Jack to be able to cycle the hand out and pop that baby 5 so he can't search. Swing 7 with lead, and he's going to choose to rest the Shiki, which is its only choice. That's the best choice. If he would have rested the Jack, that would have sucked, which would have been the best option, so he could have kept that baby 5 to search. But here now he's finally at 10 Don. He doesn't need it. I think here's where he plays out 10 cost Dofi. Oh no Dofi, plays out a Hody. So the Hody on play, he takes a life, rests 2 of my characters. So he's just able to rest my 2 queens. And he plays out another baby 5 and taps it to search. You see, looks like he's got a lot of Supernovas. Yep. In that search. So he ends up whiffing it. Doesn't find a Don Quixote Pirates, which is unfortunate for him. I think really the deck's really only running the 10-drop Dofis. And this card can also search itself, just like Jewelry Bonney, which is great. He swings 5 at the Shiki instead of life, and then he swings 7 at the Queen, which was kind of trippy. I'm surprised he swung there. I was really anticipating him to swing at the King, which would have been the better option, or swinging at life to put pressure on me, but the Queen was by far the worst target there for the Hody. Passes over to me. I'm going to play out the Kaido because that Hody is in range, and I'm going to choose to do the Kaido, but I think prior to doing that, I'm going to use leader ability, just because the cards I have in my hand I did like a lot. So leader ability is Don -2, and I had 5 cards in hand, so I am able to draw 1, which allows me to kind of filter through and see exactly what I want to trash. I could have upped it even better and did Jack ability to cycle out one of those bad cards and find something else to trash. But I do the Kaido first, trash a Queen to trash the Hody, and then forces him to trash a card from hand. Ends up trashing that 5 cost event that Don Quixote has. Doflamingo, I think it's KO of 5 costs. I don't know, it's a pretty nasty event that I used to use in OP4 for a little bit. So I end up using Onigashima to ramp one of those Dons back, but at least I'm staying in that 9 to 10 range, so 8 to 10 range, so I don't really need to ramp. I'm not facing purple, so Bonney can't really reduce my Don that way. And I'm going to use Jack's ability again to cycle out, and I cycle out on Onigashima Island and pop the baby 5. Here I swing 8 at lead because I knew he was going to arrest my leader, so I'd rather swing with the higher attack stat character and get a life, which is what happens. And I pass turn to him. At this point, I'm pretty much established. This is where the 10 drop Dofi comes into play. So he stuns Jack, King, and my leader ability since those are the only ones rested. And he swings 5 at life. I counter out with a 2k. He's got no Don from the 10 drop, but doesn't matter. He's still got the Basil to block. This is where the second Kaido that I found earlier is going to come in clutch. Prior to that, I'm going to swing 9, which is going to force him to give me the Basil or give me, 3 2Ks out of hand, or he takes life, and he chose to take life. So I play out the Kaido. Before I do anything, I got to reduce this Dofi down. So I play a Suru over the Queen to give it -2. And then I use leader ability to -2. Or Don -2 to give it another 2. So now it puts it in the Kaido range, which I do Kaido now. To trash a king from hand and then pop the Dofi. And then now he's got to trash a card from hand as well. And he ends up trashing that Rosinante. So I pretty much got him in check. Every time he plays out a body, I am able to reduce it, which is great for me. So he's going to tap 5. He plays out a Carrot. Carrot's going to arrest the Jack. Not much he can do at this point. He's got 5 of the Don. Even if he blockers up, I could still potentially get around anything that he does. But he's just going to put all the Don on. Swing 9 at the King. I let it go. Leaves 1 Don up. So for when I go for endgame, he could rest at least one of the swings. So I'm going to swing with Kaido first for 9k. He gives me the Basil, rests my other Kaido. I'm going to put all 10 Don on leader and go for game. And that's it. If you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Comment down below what you guys thought of the game and the leader and all that stuff. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.